different from the first half compared to the second half?
First half, we came out with a lot of momentum. We just got to carry that over to the second half. We can't come out playing 30 minutes strong, and then the next 30 minutes we wasn't laid back. We just didn't have the same energy, and we just needed to get a good drive sustain. We put the defense on the field too much. We just can't do that. We just got to keep that same momentum from start to finish.
Is there anything particularly schematically that they were doing different?
No.
James, as the leader of the team, how do you keep this thing from lingering?
It's not going to linger. We're different, for sure different. We know we're going to hit the ground running tomorrow morning and get right out there because we're not trying to feel this feeling again. We spoke about it before this game. Something happened. Now we got to get right, sudden change. Now we have to make up our minds and let each one of us know what we want to be. And that's a national championship team. This one game can define us.
James, you talked about how simple this offense was. There's no playbook, but do you think it was so simple that the defense was able to just figure it out at halftime?
No, because we had drives going second half. It's just that the small mistakes. We got to focus on the details, lock in, and just keep going. We just can't make those small mistakes. In this offense, once you make that small mistake, a lot can go wrong.
You mentioned those good drives. How much positive are you guys able to take from it? Obviously, the result isn't what you wanted, but the production in the first half, the drives in the second half.
As you can see, when we're rolling. It's hard to stop us when we're rolling. We just got to keep that same momentum and keep fighting, keep pushing throughout the whole game. I said we just got to play a whole 60 minutes. You can't come put on a show for 30 minutes. It's not going to work. Because the other team on the other side, they got faith too. They ready. They coming out trying to get some momentum back on their side. So we just got to keep that same momentum.
You talked about the mistakes. Coach Taggart talked a lot about the mistakes too, how surprised he was by so many of them. Were you similarly surprised by just how many different mistakes and how they compounded?
Things happen. Now you just got to go about how you're going to fix them. So you can't just sit there and dwell on the mistakes. Now you got to think about what you're going to do to fix the mistakes. And that's coming out tomorrow, practicing hard at 110%.
James, you know there's going to be a lot of negativity and outside noise. Is this the sort of week where you guys sort of circle the wagon, stay off social media, and not listen?
To be honest, with all due respect, we do not care about what anyone else got to say about this football team because we know how much work we put in. We know how hard it is to win games, but we're going to get it fixed for sure.
You talked about the hard work. I guess, what have you seen up to this point that leads you to believe that things are different, that you guys will be able to get out of this and recover?
Show me a time last year where we put up 31 points in the first half. Probably can't find it. It's just about sustaining that same momentum and just going hard throughout the whole game, grinding it out. And then when we sub in, the subs got to be just like the one. So we just got to get that fixed and be ready to roll.
Coach Taggart said something amongst the lines of learning how to win again. That's something this program has to do. Do you agree with that? That's something that you guys have to figure out?
Yeah, because you talk about how you're going to handle adversity a lot, how you're going to handle the success. Sometimes the Lord might think you're not ready for the success yet, so He put you through some more adversity to see if you're just going to fold. We're not going to fold, though. We're going to hit the ground running tomorrow and get ready for the next game.
How much of a difference do you see in the locker room after this game as opposed to last year's opening game?
You've seen a lot of guys try to drop their head, but you can hear it from all over the locker room, man. Pick your head up. This one game do not define us. So we're not trying to get in that groove of, oh, we lost. No. We're going to make this right. We're going to go out here and 50 mistakes and get it right. So the next time we out here, we're going to put on a show.
Going along with, Jaden said the maturity of this team. You think that that's the biggest growth from last year to this year, why the feeling was different in the locker room?
Most definitely. You can hear it in the young guys, from the older guys, just speaking it into their minds, just, man, we good, man. This one loss don't define us. It's coming from the young guys. So when you hear it from a young group, you know that you've been putting out a good energy. As the older guys, we've been leading great. We've been putting out a great example. So I feel like the maturity has grown.
James, third down was really a struggle for this team, especially in the second half. Why was that?
You got those struggles sometimes. You just got to find a way to adjust and fix them. So we're going to hit the ground running tomorrow and go fix those struggles.
James, how would you assess your performance, your first game in Coach KB's offense?
It wasn't good enough. We didn't win the game. No matter what happened, we did not win the game. So what a performance got to do without the win. And it's a lot of throws that I feel like I want back. Had a lot of opportunities. So I feel like we didn't do too good. We didn't do too bad.
Today was the first time that everybody got to see the new offense. Was there anything in particular that you thought was working especially well?
We was rolling. It was hard for them to stop us. You see, we had 2-play drives, 1-play drives. Man, we just got to be able to keep that same momentum. Like I said, man, it's going to be a long season.
How was this locker room post-game different than losses last year?
We just not dwelling on the loss. We're willing to take the next step and focus on the mistakes and fix the mistakes and get ready to come back the next week.
Is it tough mentally? I mean, drive after drive, that you just can't find that success, whether it be mistakes or whatever, to not get in your head, kind of, as an offense?
To be honest, not really, because we the only ones that can stop us. They can't. They really wasn't. They did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, they really weren't stopping us. It was just the mistakes that we made that what stopped us. So you can't just get down about it. You just gotta go talk to your teammates and talk about those mistakes that we're making that's really holding us back.
All right, thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, James.